just a tutorial on how to use the program, right? So you purchase your program, you got it downloaded, and this is how we want you to use your study material. Up here you got your tools. There's a calculator in case you need to do some calculations, obviously. Tools, you got the scale. You can make the scale, the size of the font bigger so that you can see it clearly. It also comes in both languages, English and Spanish. And on top of that, we do additional documents. So under documents, we got additional study material. And this one is for the master electrician. So we're gonna do a quick review on the master electrician on how to use it. But all of our programs for all of our exam prep, they work the same way. So if you're doing HVAC or if you're doing appliance installer, it doesn't really matter. The program works the same way for every student, okay? Now, under the documents, you got additional study material. Here's a workbook. This one, you need to print yourself a copy of it. You need to print yourself a copy of it. All right, you print yourself a copy of it. It's 31 pages. Um, you want to tab and highlight all these sections in your code book, right? And then on the bottom of this page, page number 4, we start with a few questions, right? So you want to how to break down this question. We're gonna go over ampacity and the rating of conductors. Well, to show you that, we've made some videos. So under the same tab on your program, you go to online lectures and lectures NEC 2023. And yes, right now the state of Texas, it's based the test itself for the electricians, it's based on the 2023, even though the 26 is already out. So don't worry about it. If you have your 2023, you haven't passed the test, you don't have to be sweating about it. You could still use the 2023. Okay, so here are the lectures. The lectures are gonna go over introduction to the software and codebook notes. So we're gonna show you how to do the notes on your codebook, because in Texas you are permitted to have brief notes, highlights, underlines, and tabbing your codebook. So that's allowed in Texas. Then once we show you how to do that, we're gonna move on to ampacity and the rating of conductors, right? So if you notice that, if you go back to the other paper that needs to be printed, we're gonna be talking about ampacity and the rating of conductors from these tables. And those tables need to be tabbed and highlighted. We give them to you here. So you need to find those tables, tab them, highlight them, underline them, do whatever's necessary, right? We're gonna move on after the ampacity and the rating of conductors. We're gonna do range load calculations, lighting load calculations, and motors, branch, and feeder circuit conductors. So those videos, you wanna watch them. You wanna follow along with this document because the questions are in here. So if you wanna follow up, you can follow with this document, okay? Once you finish the videos and finish doing your highlighting in your codebook, then you can move on to the software to get your green lights on. Well, how do you get your green lights on? Fairly simple. Start with test number 1, and then you want to click down here where it says memorize test. Click on it, and you're gonna be prompted with a question very similar to the one that you're gonna see on your actual PSI test, right? So you want to read and understand the question. Read it, understand it, look at all the detail that is given to you, and then memorize the answer that we're giving you. This is the correct answer. You want to memorize it and read and understand the question. Move on to the next one, same thing. You're gonna read and understand the next question, memorize the answer. On to the next one we go. Same thing, we're gonna read and understand the question, memorize the answer, and on to the next one we go, right? Once you're done, for example, test 1 only has 5 questions, so we're done with it. So what do we do next? We can either go back and review, or we can start a practice test right here. So once you click start test, the only thing that's gonna change is that the answers are not gonna be highlighted, right? And here is where it gets very interesting and very detailed. You wanna read the question, look at the answers. If you know what the answer is, all you wanna do is click on it. And here's an explanation. Step number 1, we'll explain it. We'll show you a table. Exceptions, this one, it's 140%. We're gonna need that number, right? Step number 2, apply the code exception multiplier, neutral load, maximum unbalanced load. It's 1.4 times 32 amps because that comes from the question, right? So 32 amps times 1.4 gives you 44.8 amps, right? But we need to size it up to a 45 amp right there. That's the correct answer. And this is how all of our questions are explained, right? Same thing, move on to the next question, read it, understand it, look at the answers, click on the answer. And here's the breakdown for this question, right? That's a lengthy one, but here's all explained. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, step number 5, and then we get to the correct answer right here. Moving on to the next one, we're gonna read it, understand it, look at all the detail that they give us, look at all the answers, and then just click on the answer. There you go. Here's another explanation, step by step. Step number 1, this is the step number 1 right here. Step number 2, this is the step number 2 right here. Step 3, we get that number. Once we get that number, family determine the requirements, grounding conductors per table 25122, size it up to a 200 amp. Therefore, the EGC of 6 og. There you go. Correct answer is that one. Same thing. Move on to the next one. Read it, understand it, look at the answers, click on the answer. And if you want to make a brief note, now that you know how to do your notes, this is what you want to put in your code book. You move on to the next one, same thing. You're going to read the question, look at the answers. If you do remember what the answer is, just click on it. Correct answer is 6 amps, and there you have it. Explained step by step. Step number 1, you add your wattage, 720. Therefore, you calculate it using Ohm's laws because we're looking for the current on this circuit, right? So correct answer would be 6 amps right there, right? Once you finish, press OK, gives you the green light on and allows you to move on to the next test. So this is how you use the contractor school study material in your computer at home. So if you need to pass your journeyman's, your master's, your HVAC, your appliance installer, any of those state exams in Texas, we can definitely help you get ready and help you pass your test. So give us a call and we'll help you get it done.